So a little trigger warning here. This next story that we're about to mention it could be a little triggering for some. In this story, ChatGPT coached a teen as he prepared suicide and praised the noose knot that he made and talked about how it wasn't bad at all. This is a 16-year-old boy in California, and he was given a step-by-step playbook from ChatGPT and how to kill himself. And this actually happened this year, which is pretty surprising to me because I would think that the guardrails up about this stuff would be pretty tight, based on previous suicidality of teenagers from other chatbots and platforms that has occurred.
You think? I feel like we've heard a flurry of stories about like onset psychosis and people like losing touch with reality or being like influenced in very negative ways by these chatbots that are literally tuned to be sycophantic and just kind of push you further in whichever direction you're going.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think with GPT-4 that was particularly an issue. And
So this is a lawsuit that's ongoing. So this happened
Yeah.
early. This was pre GPT-5.
Correct. Yeah. And so GPT-4, I think, had this issue a lot.
September 2024 is the
Yeah, like I was recently watching a short video about GPT-5 and how it's become a little less personable. And that's frustrated a lot of people who have built these ongoing relationships with these AI tools, like whether they be pseudo-romantic or otherwise,
you
right?
switched up on me.
Yeah, because they feel like
You don't act the same no
Yeah,
more.
it feels like ChatGPT-5 has gotten a lot
Yeah.
colder, whereas that was an intentional choice on the part of OpenAI's team to try to mitigate some of these things that are happening. But
Yeah.
this still did happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is very so it says that the system flagged 377 messages for self-harm, but failed to intervene in any of those conversations.
Wow.
And this is the thing that, I mean, this is a lawsuit that the family has. And yeah, I mean, whether or not they chose to do anything or had any infrastructure to respond to something like that is one thing, but that they had that data, right?
Mhm.
And I think that it's kind of disturbing to think about the company harvesting the conversations for data so that they can like make more money in the future. But yeah, almost 400 instances where self-harm was actually triggered within the system and nothing, like no intervention. That's as a mother or father, I mean, who I'm assume, I don't know what the family dynamic was like, but I assume that he wasn't having these conversations with them, maybe not even with his friends, but having it with ChatGPT, which is not helping him at all.
Well, in fact, it was validating some of his most self-destructive thoughts, like
Right.
agreeing or, telling him like, "Hey, this is." It called his plan a beautiful suicide, like this plan that you're,
It's kind of like romanticizing it.
yeah, and yeah, it's like hanging creates a pose that could be beautiful despite the body being ruined, is what ChatGPT told Adam, like in quotes.
Yeah. So during the time, and I mean, this is a great time to point out why ChatGPT is not a reliable therapist.
Right.
And maybe that's like very much context dependent. For some people, I'm sure that it helps, and it being free is also appealing in many cases. But this is, if a therapist were to engage this way with a client, with a patient, they would be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
This is pretty alarming.
This is grounds for a lawsuit against a person, and I think that they have a wrongful death lawsuit going against ChatGPT.
Yeah. So this is a very sad story.